Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're at Oakman High School in Oakman, Alabama. Question is, who are you becoming? It's Gordo game week here on Go Wildcats with head coach Ryan Hall. Okay, Coach, so we're 7 games into the season now. You're just coming off a much-needed bye week. That's helpful physically, but also in terms of the team and the teamwork and the integrity and values, all those kind of things. And so we come back to a question that's been important for the team from the beginning of this season and even off-season. Who are you becoming? Tell us about the importance of that question.
Yeah, the bye week gives you a little bit of time to kind of go back and reflect and revisit some things that are kind of, your foundational things. And that is the foundation. That's the most important question that will be asked of our players. And more important than anything in terms of wins, losses, performance, things like that is who are you becoming? Who are you becoming as an individual? And who are you becoming as a team? And so when you look at it from the team perspective is, our team this year has been through some downs. We were 0-2 at one time, and then we won 3, okay? And now we're back where we've lost 2, and those things are part of the process, but through that, who are you becoming is the big question. Are you still growing when you've lost 2 in a row? Are you still living out those values? And those are the things that we want our players to take from it. For the fan and people that are not in the arena, that are not here every day, and they don't see the work and the improvement and all the things that the players put into going out and performing on a Friday night, to them, they just see the results. But those things are fleeting and they're temporary. What happens is through the course of a season, through those 3 wins, are you remaining humble? Are you complacent? Are you still working? Are you still growing? Are you still practicing with the same hunger you were practicing with way back when it was new to you? And then through the losses, can you still stay together and continue to grow together and continue to live out those values even when it's tough? And so that's kind of what we look at it from the team perspective is who are we becoming through the good and the bad? And it's like I told those seniors the other day, this stretch we're going through right now, it's going to test you physically, it's going to test you mentally, it's going to test you emotionally and all that. For you, it may not show up for 5 or 6 years later down the road when it's real and you have to utilize, I've been through moments like this where I had to really dig in and go and fight. For our underclassmen, what is this going to do for you down the road for our program and our team? You're about to go through a stretch where you're going to play 5, possibly 5 ranked opponents in a row, 5 really good football teams in a row. There's 2 ways. You can either cow down and back out, or you can dig in and fight. And so, the message to them is dig in and fight and become who will you become through these next 5 weeks. And so then as an individual, for us in our program, that starts with right when they get here. What will you become out of our program? And, there's several things. We want them to become a leader. We want them to serve and communicate, motivate, inspire people with their behavior, their actions. We want them to become a man of honor, to live baggage-free, as we talked about, to not create baggage by the decisions you make, to be a man of your word. There's a lot of people, I watch it every day, I see a lot of people, particular men, that say, I'm going to do this, and they never do it. And so we want our players to learn, and we try to be men that don't do that. If we tell you something, we want to honor it and try to do our best to keep our word, because there's plenty of people in the world that are telling you they'll do something and then they don't do it. And so we hope they become men of honor. And then we want to become competitors. We want them to become people that learn to compete and learn the value of working hard and that there's a reward for that. It may not be in the short term, but it may come later on, but there is a reward for that. So, through those things, those are the kind of the principles. But the question ultimately, whether we're talking about being baggage-free, discipline, effort, it doesn't matter any of that. What are you becoming? Okay, what are you continuing to grow and get better? And so that's a great message for us to revisit through this time off and about to go into this stretch we're about to go into, and what will we become of it? So that's kind of how we relate that to the program. And again, that's always a pertinent question for us and for what we're trying to build here.
All right, very, very good. I have a good friend who's a counselor therapist, and he's known to say from time to time we're human beings, not human doings. And what we do comes out of who we are, and so we need to always address and start with that sense of being. Appreciate those helpful thoughts and your commitment to those things here through the team and the program. We look forward to visiting with a player. Coach will break down some film in a moment, and then we'll close out talking football here on the rest of this episode. Okay, we're going to take a few minutes today to visit with a player. We're here with freshman Caden Aaron. Caden plays quarterback and safety, wears number 14, so be sure to check him out on Friday night at the game. Caden, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you.
All right, Caden, let's talk about this message for the week, this Who Are You Becoming message. Not a new one they've been emphasizing with you guys throughout the season. Talk to us about how that message has been ingrained in you guys.
Started in, I would say, the summer. Started boot camp, came in 6:30 in the morning, and we started down in the park at Oakman. And Coach Painter, our coach, he was saying, who you'll become. Really didn't know what it meant at that time. And we were saying, in our heads, we were like, what's going on? Then we did the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag down there. Then we ran, because we had group names from the Army, trying to get it boot camp as it could be.
Yeah.
And we ran over, back of the end zone, jumped in cold tub of water, rolled in sand, then had us line back up, had us holding push-ups, doing everything, running miles, doing stadiums, rolling, doing all type of drills. And he kept on asking us who we'll become, and it kind of had us like thinking about it and stuff.
Okay. Well, that's great. That happened several months ago. Now we fast forward. We're here several games into the season, over halfway through even. Tell us about how that message has continued to be important week in, week out in the course of the season.
It's starting to become more important because we'll have setbacks, like some will fumble, miss assignment, something like that, and then we'll come back and we'll have to think to ourselves, like, we're becoming better as the season's going, and there's just small things we're missing, and it's really football. It's making us become better people, become more friends, better adults, dads, just better civilians.
Awesome. That's great. Great message, and thankful that you're able to see that and connect that from the field to all of life. We thank you again for your time joining us today. You want to look at the camera and tell everybody, go Wildcats?
Go Wildcats!
Okay, got some highlights and just some cut-ups from Friday night's, Thursday night's game against Fayette a couple of weeks ago. This game was kind of played in between the tackles, so there was not a lot of stuff, but there were some really good play. I thought our defense really played well for about 3/4 of the game and made some big plays. You'll see right here, this is early in the game. Trace Cagle, our linebacker, is going to run through there and make a play on the back. We get good penetration. You can see we're kind of resetting the line on the strong side there. Get a couple of people in the backfield and rally and tackle. So, that's kind of what we want to do defensively, is run around and move and kind of challenge the front, move, reset the line of scrimmage. Did a good job of that right there by Trace running through that gap. Another big defensive play here. Quarterback's going to scramble. He's dangerous. He kind of, when he gets out of the pocket, moves around, he can be tough. So you can see we're kind of playing mirror with Aiden Martin right here. He's mirroring the quarterback. We should have an outside contained player right here, but we missed the assignment. But we keep after it, pushing back in, and our backer right here, Aiden Martin, Peyton McLemore, defensive end, slides back in right there and makes the play on the quarterback. Big sack right there for us. Okay, offensively, here's a play. This is a big 4th down play. Bridger's going to run the comeback. Trace's going to roll. Do a good job of pushing past the sticks and catching it and getting back upfield. Just kept the drive alive. We had a really good drive to open the game there. Just couldn't finish. Through a comeback over Casey Dickerson's head. But good job on the protection up front. Get everything sealed down. Okay, we'd like for our blocking back right here, Aiden Martin, to get outside shoulder of number 8 and pin him so we can keep getting out on the edge. We had a couple of options. We had Luke coming across on the shallow that we could have got the ball to right there. Just a good job by our quarterback. Again, a defensive play here. They're running the stretch play out here. GT kind of to the up, looks like they're pulling guard and tackle around the edge there. We do a good job of kind of running in there. Trace again, just setting the edge and making a play. Our outside backer right there, Logan Tarvin, slips inside. Okay, just rallying to the football. Here was our touchdown. It's just a power play. Rick's going to hit the thing in tight right here. Bounces out. They bounce a little bit. Didn't get a lot of movement on number 7 right there on their edge player. He was a tough, big physical kid, but we get enough to get Rick around there and get into the end zone. That made the game 7-8 right there. Later on in the game right here, this defense still playing really well. Quarterback's going to drop back. Luke Martin comes off the edge untouched. And they kind of blow the protection. Number 6 probably had inside out to the backer. Really probably this tackle right here probably should have fanned to Luke. But he didn't. He misses the protection. Luke gets a free run at the quarterback, and sack causes a fumble. Okay, we played a lot. We did a lot of things right in this game. This is right before the half. They're driving down the score. Quarterback's going to roll, try to force one in there. Tyler Thomas does a good job of sitting back here, reading the quarterback's eyes, and gets back, makes a big pick right there before the half. So, all in all, it's good. It's 15-7 with about 3 to go in the third quarter, and felt like we were in the game. Okay, we just didn't make a play or two. Something we got to do. We got to continue to improve and start making those plays in the big games. But I was proud of the effort. We played with a lot of effort and a lot of intensity and enthusiasm on the road in a tough environment. So I think we grew up a little bit, and we just continue to go back to work.
All right, Coach, let's talk football. Who are we becoming in the course of these football games? We took a week off. So the week before that, played against Fayette at Fayette on a Thursday night. Came up short, 35-7, but hung with them for the majority of that game. Talk to us about how players played and responded during the course of the game.
Yeah, there was definitely some things to pull from that were positive. I think physically, we stood in there, and they're a very physical, tough. I mean, traditionally, Fayette's going to be a really high-caliber football team, and I feel like they are now. But we stood in there with them. I think it was 15-7 there. With about 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and we're going in to score and fumble the ball through the end zone and kind of flip the momentum on us. For our team right now, we're still growing and learning in those moments. We kind of fade, and a lot of that has to do with guys. We got guys play. Trace Cagle played every snap of the football game. We just have too many guys having to do that right now, and so we fatigue and lose some of that toward the end. And some of that's coaching. We got to try to get some different guys in early and try to figure out a rotation to try to play a little better late, but some of that's just growing up. And so I was proud, and I told them that after the game, I was extremely proud of their effort. We went in at half 15-7. We had the momentum. We were playing really hard. We had fewer loafs in that game than we had in all 3 of the games that we won. So when you look at the film and you go, well, how did you play? We played really good. I mean, we played really hard. We did a lot of things right. But in the end of the day, at this point, they were just a better football team on that night than us. So, what we've asked our players to do from a philosophical standpoint is let's be in the game late in the second half to give ourselves the best chance to win. Let's hold the game close, control the pace, try to give ourselves a chance to win late. And they've done that. There's not been a game that we've played where we were not in the game late into the third quarter. And we just, at this point, we're not finishing. And so we're still working on that, and that's something that our players know, and they're aware of it. So, we just go back to the drawing board. But a lot of people from the outside, you don't see those things. You don't see the little improvements and the things that they're doing really well. And there's just a little thing here and a little thing there, and that game's, finishes 22 to maybe 21. You don't know, or maybe we win 20. So we got to get there, but we're still working. But I was proud of our guys' effort. It's not, they practice really well. They do everything right during the week. There's no problems in the school building. They show up every day. They're on time. They got the right class. There's none of those issues. And so when you're doing that and you see improvement and the spirit is still there, I know there's good things ahead for them. So we're excited about the future, and we're going to continue to work hard and really proud of our group.
Great stuff. Let's talk now about the players of the game, specifically from the Fayette game. Who stood out?
Yeah, offensively. Gage Blanton again played really well up front. I think he graded close to 90 again, which is really good for an offensive lineman, so we were proud of his effort. And he's playing snap to whistle every snap, man. He's playing so hard and just doing a lot of things right. Also, Tyler Thomas had several big runs in that game. He had a fourth down run that got us a big first down. I thought he really did he didn't have like 200 yards rushing or anything like that, but his runs were really sound. He hit tracks. He played with good pad level. And then when he didn't have the ball, he did a good job blocking. So those two were co-players of the week, Gage Blanton, Tyler Thomas. Defensive player of the week were Logan Tarvin and Trace Cagle, a couple of sophomores. Tyler's a freshman. And then those two sophomores were our defensive player of the week. Trace had a bunch of tackles. Logan Tarvin had 12 tackles. Trace had a bunch of negative plays he created. And just, those two kids are both improving so much every week. And our do the work players, Logan Smith. And Logan has quietly just kind of shown up every day and done what he's supposed to do. And he's put himself in a position where he's playing a lot on special teams. Okay, he's in the mix on defense, and he backs Luke up there at tight end and plays some meaningful snaps for us there so we can rest Luke. But he's a young man that we're going to get on the field more and try to find ways to utilize him in all of our schemes, offense, defense, and special teams.
All right, fantastic. So congrats to all of those guys, and we look forward to seeing all of them compete again tomorrow night. Speaking of tomorrow night, another game number 8. We welcome familiar foe, Gordo Green Wave. One of those teams that we used to be in the region and played them out of region. Now we're back in the region with them. So talk to us about now what we can expect from tomorrow night's contest.
Yeah, I love their tradition and the just the style of play and the kids they have. They're physical, tough. They're always going to challenge you. And so we have a ton of respect for that program and their community and all those things. And they have a new coach, Coach Gus Smith, who's doing a phenomenal job with them. I think they're number 2 in the state. I don't know that for sure, but I think they're ranked really high. Their lone loss is to Bibb County. They've got great skill guys. Okay, they got number 1 is a receiver. Somerville is his name, and he's really big, 6'3", 215. He presents a lot of matchup problems as you can go high point the ball, and he's also physical. They can throw a screen out there and try to make your corner tackle him, which is they got a back, number 2. He did not play last week against Fayette. I don't know his status, but he's really good. But the kid they played for, number 19, is just as good, just tough, inside, hard-nosed runners. The quarterback's about 6'5", 225 pounds, and he can run and throw it. And they ran him more last week against Fayette, which, that's kind of gives them another dimension. And on defense, they just fly around, man. They got so many guys that can run, and they're really impressive on film to watch. And do a lot right. I mean, they do. The special teams are sound. Coaches do a great job, and so it'll be a challenge. But for us, that if you don't want that kind of challenge, that's what you got to want to play those kind of people. We want to play the best. If we're ever going to get our program to where we're in the group with them, we've got to play them, and we've got to stand in there with them, and so we're looking forward to it. But we'll go out there and compete, and I have no doubt our kids will play hard, and they'll play the right way, and they'll be tough, and it'll be a good measuring stick for us to continue to see where we're at and grow.
All right. Look forward to it. Be sure that you're here. Be sure that you're here early, here loud. Look forward to cheering the Wildcats on tomorrow night against Gordo. Close us out, Coach.
Yep. Go Wildcats.